it's hard to ignore the buzz that's slowly building again. The possibility of Porsche entering Formula One is back in talks, and this time, it seems more serious than ever. Just recently, the FIA acknowledged that conversations with the German auto giant are still ongoing. That alone is enough to grab attention across the racing world. After all, Porsche's previous attempt to join the F1 grid fell apart when their deal with Red Bull collapsed. Most people assumed that was the end of the story, but at WASN, hints are now coming from both Porsche and the FIA that the door is still very much open. This time, there's a new team in the rumor mill, Williams F1. If this partnership actually happens, it could be a turning point not only for Williams, but also for Porsche's long-standing F1 ambitions. The timing couldn't be better either. The 2026 season is shaping up to be a major shift for Formula One, especially with new regulations focused on sustainable engine tech and upgraded hybrid systems. For a company like Porsche, which has a strong motorsport legacy and deep technical expertise, this new engine formula presents an opportunity that fits perfectly. Their parent company, Volkswagen Group, has already pushed Audi into the mix, securing a position on the grid through an alliance with Sauber. Porsche's path hasn't been that smooth, but teaming up with a respected name like Williams might offer a more stable and promising entry route. This move could mean much more than just an engine deal. Williams could benefit from Porsche's advanced facilities, engineering know-how, and investment in high-performance technologies. For a team that's been fighting to climb back up the rankings, that kind of support could be game-changing. After the breakdown with Red Bull, many thought Porsche would step back from Formula One altogether, but instead of fading into the background, Porsche kept showing signs that their interest hadn't disappeared. They've openly stated that Formula One remains an attractive space for their brand. And now, they're not just watching, they're actively keeping tabs on how the sport is evolving and where new opportunities might arise. That includes not only forming partnerships but also potentially owning or heavily investing in a team. If the situation is right, this shift in Porsche's attitude has reignited discussions among fans, experts, and insiders. Speculation has only grown stronger since the FIA released a formal note confirming Porsche's ongoing talks with several teams. That announcement, made after the World Motorsport Council's recent meeting, sent a clear signal. Formula One isn't just open to big names, it's actively trying to attract them as the sport heads into a new technical era. Back when Porsche was negotiating with Red Bull, the biggest roadblock wasn't the technology, it was control. Porsche wasn't just looking to supply engines, they wanted equal say in the team's operations. That included decisions related to management, development, and strategy. Red Bull, fiercely independent in its approach, wasn't willing to share that level of authority. Christian Horner, Red Bull's team boss, made it clear that his team's identity wouldn't be compromised, no matter how prestigious the partner. For Porsche, losing out on Red Bull was a missed shortcut. The Austrian team is among the strongest on the grid and would have fast-tracked Porsche's climb toward competitiveness. But with that path closed, Porsche now has to search for new ground, and the options are fewer than ever. Now, with the 2026 season approaching, time is ticking for Porsche to find the right fit, but most of the top teams already have firm engine plans. Mercedes and Ferrari aren't looking for outside suppliers, they're committed to developing their own power units. Aston Martin has joined hands with Honda, Audi has secured a future with Sauber, even McLaren, which might seem like a candidate from the outside, appears firmly tied to Mercedes. That narrows Porsche's choices significantly. Red Bull's sister team, currently known as Visa Cash App RB, is also off the table. Their ties to Red Bull make a second deal highly unlikely, especially after the way the first one ended. That brings Williams into sharper focus. Known for their history of fighting through tough times and refusing to give up, Williams might just be the kind of partner Porsche needs. Williams isn't a new name to Formula One fans. This is a team that once ruled the sport, winning championships and building a strong legacy. But over the years, they've struggled trying to stay competitive in a field dominated by well-funded high-tech teams. Lately, though, there have been signs of change. Under the leadership of team principal James Vowles, Williams is trying to rebuild from the ground up. His goal isn't just to survive, it's to bring the team back to being a serious threat on the track. If Porsche does join hands with Williams, it could bring a whole new level of technical firepower to the team. Access to Porsche's state-of-the-art simulators, wind tunnels, and engine development tools could help Williams speed up their return to the front of the pack. This partnership wouldn't just be about money, it would bring real engineering strength, which is what Williams needs the most right now. Porsche hasn't been shy about its admiration for Formula One, even after the Red Bull deal collapsed. The company has consistently called F1 a space that aligns well with its goals and brand identity over the past few months. They've been watching the sport's direction carefully. As talks intensify, they've even hinted that owning a team or becoming a key technical partner is still very much under consideration. If the terms make sense, the FIA's recent confirmation of active discussions only added more fuel to the rumors. Analysts and fans are now asking, which team makes the most sense for Porsche? With most big names already locked into engine partnerships or building their own units, Williams remains one of the few real options still on the table. And it's not just about availability, it's about potential. James Vowles has taken on the challenge of rebuilding Williams with a clear, long-term vision. He understands that restoring a fallen giant requires more than small improvements. He's looking at structural changes from recruitment to technical direction, and possibly even reshaping how the team approaches engine supply. That's where Porsche could come in, not just as a power unit provider, but as a performance partner. Bringing Porsche into the mix could give Williams the edge it has been missing for years. We're talking about cutting-edge technology, testing, capabilities that are second to none, and the credibility that comes with working alongside a top-tier manufacturer. These aren't minor advantages, they could dramatically improve everything from car reliability to race day speed. For Porsche, joining forces with Williams may be the smartest path forward. Building a brand new team from the ground up would take years and come with massive costs. Instead, working with an already established team like Williams gives them immediate access to infrastructure, experienced personnel, and a fan base that has stood by through decades of ups and downs. It's a way to make an impact without starting from zero, and to do so with a name that still holds weight in Formula 1. But even a partnership like this wouldn't come without its own set of challenges. Porsche is known for engineering excellence, precision, and performance at the highest level. Williams, on the other hand, is still trying to recover its former strength and establish itself among today's top teams. For the collaboration to work, both sides would need to find a balance between Porsche's high standards and Williams' current rebuilding stage. Still, if things fall into place, 2026 could be a defining season, not just for Williams or Porsche, but for the entire Formula One landscape. Imagine two major brands under the Volkswagen Group, Audi and Porsche, both on the grid, going head-to-head with giants like Mercedes, Ferrari, and Honda. Of competition would bring fresh excitement to the sport and possibly reshape team rankings in ways no one expected. James Vowles has already made bold moves. Bringing in Carlos Sainz is just one example, a calculated decision to boost the team's capabilities with a driver who has proven himself under pressure. Sainz brings consistency, adaptability, and valuable experience from top-tier teams, all of which will help steer Williams in the right direction. Pairing a high-caliber driver with Porsche's technical power could give Williams the momentum they've been chasing for years. If it happens, this alliance might not just help the team move up the ranks, it could mark the beginning of a new era, where Williams is no longer seen as an underdog, but as a true competitor once again. Now, all attention turns to Porsche. Will they take the final step and enter Formula One? And if they do, will Williams be the partner that helps bring their vision to life? The months ahead will reveal everything. Until then, fans, analysts, and rivals can only wait watching the pieces shift, and wondering if this could be the start of something major.